Bitcoin liquidity to integrate with Cardano Blockchain. Super exciting theory, isn't it? Today we're going to look at that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what that means as a holder. I think I have my comments up, so if you want to comment in, I will try to take some answers, as every one of these live videos I do right now will be sort of like an AMA style. And we're going to look at that. Bitcoin liquidity, BTC liquidity. How about more specifically UTXO blockchains to integrate with Cardano blockchain, and like Cardano DeFi, right? And so super duper exciting. Have you ever heard of Bitcoin OS, Bitcoin operating systems? Well, during the last Cardano summit in Dubai, there were some major announcements by the head of Bitcoin operating systems, and this whole theory, this concept, this discussion about how Bitcoin's liquidity is held captive, if you will, right? So Bitcoin has obviously the largest market cap by leaps and bounds, by extreme measures. What is it? 1.2 trillion, right? It's crazy, and heading way more than that, right? We're in the precipice of what they call the business end of the bull cycle. That is like the last year. When we look at 4-year cycles, and we look at 4-year cycles because of Bitcoin having this halving event phenomenon, the bull cycle is generally like a 3-year time zone. And then the bear cycle is generally like a 1-year time zone, give or take a few months here and there. And we all saw the lows way back January of it was 2 years ago around, right? 2 Januaries ago. So this January coming up would be the 3rd January. But 2 Januaries ago was the confirmation of the low when the structuring of the bear market changed into a bullish sentiment. And it's exciting. It's exciting. We're going to look at it, and I'm going to show you a few applications building on Cardano that might be contenders. And we're going to talk about this. And so back then, when that structure changed, everybody still considers it the bear market for so long because it's kind of sideways action. But the lows are getting higher, so they're calling higher lows, right? Every low that happens through these mini cycles, you could call it. So if 4-year cycle is a major window of time, an epoch of time, in the midst of that 4-year cycle, you have little 60-day cycles. Generally, in a bull market, with 45 days of perhaps like an increase, and then 15 days of a retracement, and so on and so forth. Again, give or take 10, 15 days here or there. These are just general metrics, because technical analysis is all about measurements. It's nothing is set in stone. What's really exciting about all of that is, as this bull cycle has confirmed itself into the direction of where we are now, the business end, there is a lot of building that went on. There's a lot of building and growth in blockchain and cryptocurrency and the technology itself. And a big concern for lots of Bitcoin holders out here, a lot of OGs in the space, is that there's not a lot of advantage you can take with your Bitcoin outside of holding it. And if you are in the Cardano ecosystem, you're well aware of the fact that your ADA is growing. Your ADA can grow by leaps and bounds by staking it with the liquid non-custodial staking mechanism, which is a brilliant innovation by Cardano. And you can bring it into DeFi. You could stake it on a decentralized exchange. You can take your ADA, you can trade it for MinSwap, for instance. You can stake your MinSwap, and you're going to get 20%, which is higher than what you would do if you would stake your ADA from a stake pool. And so you could supply it to a money lending platform without borrowing and just get the rewards, right? So there's a lot more features and options, things that you could do with Cardano DeFi that you can't do with Bitcoin. And there's a lot of value there waiting to be unleashed. And so there's so much work going on to figure out how to crack that code. And there's lots of competition. There's lots of people out there trying to figure this out. But I think the buried lead is that Bitcoin, being a UTXO accounting model blockchain, the unspent transaction output, basically the cash register style of accounting. And if I could just take a second to break that down for you, the simplicity of what that is what humans have been trying to figure out for a very long time, especially as it works digitally. How can we transact with each other in a manner where we can achieve this cash register style? And what do I mean by that? Is that take yourself back to the days where there was just cash registers. There was no swiping your card, because all the swiping of the card is not UTXO. The swiping of your card is the account-based model. And that's more of like what Ethereum is. And so the cash register system is that if I'm going to the store and I'm buying groceries, and let's say my bill is $50, and I have $100 bill, right? I give them $100 bill and they take it. And so $100 bill leaves my wallet, the whole $100 bill. And that comes out into the medium of exchange. And then I receive back $50 in return, right? That's the cash register. And it could break itself down into cents. I mean, if my bill was $58.43, I would give the $100 bill and I would get exactly that change in return. And so that's what you see with Bitcoin. If you wanted to you wanted to pay someone in Bitcoin or send someone some Bitcoin, you could send them very exact amounts. And if you look at Bitcoin's decimal system, it's different from the decimal system that we're used to with regular money. Meaning Bitcoin's decimal system sort of like work backwards, don't they? Right? It's like there's 8 decimals and then there's like 1 Bitcoin. Where we go like there's $1 and then the change is to the right of the decimals. Bitcoin sort of works its way back. It's a different style. It's a different system. It's a revolution. Hard to copy, hard to imitate, right? Cardano might be the only blockchain that has leveraged the power of the UTXO model. And that's what we're going to be getting into. And that's a very exciting concept for anyone here thinking about what this could mean as a holder. And so that's the cash register style. And that's what happens when you send a Bitcoin. Okay, so if, for instance, I am doing that same transaction. Let's say I'm working with somebody and I want to pay them $50, okay? And I only have $100 worth of Bitcoin in my wallet. Let's say I have $100 worth of Bitcoin in my wallet. I'm buying goods from someone, or I'm offering, soliciting a service from someone, and I want to pay them. What happens is that in the UTXO model, the entire $100 worth of Bitcoin will leave the wallet into this exchange. And I would get back $50 worth of Bitcoin. That is a simple, might sound obvious, but you might have missed the point. Let's talk about it in Ethereum or your credit card, because Ethereum and the credit card is the same thing. And it's an account-based model. And how does that work? So that same situation. Let's say I have this $100 that I'm going to that I have in my wallet, and I'm only going to want to spend 50. Well, in Ethereum or your credit card, what happens is the $100 that's in your wallet's there, and when I'm trying to pay 50, only 50 leaves the wallet. Do you see the difference? It's not like I handed the $100 bill out of my wallet and got back 50. Right? It's not like in the UTXO model, all of those Bitcoins, fractions of a Bitcoin, or in Cardano's instance, all of your Cardano or whatever leaves the wallet, and then you get back in return your sum. That's a monumentally different approach. And because it's like that, there's so much with the UTXO that allows you to prevent harm, to be more secure, and there's so much more. And this is what we've been trying to figure out for a very long time. We figured it out. Bitcoin figured it out. And that's why Bitcoin is so incredibly powerful. And that's why Bitcoin is a store of value. It's the leader of all of the altcoins, right? If Bitcoin has a surge, all the altcoins have a surge. If Bitcoin drops, all of the altcoins drop, as far as we're looking at it today. Now, I think that might change. I might even go as bold to say, and lots of people agree with me, that Bitcoin might get surpassed in market cap at some point, right? Could Cardano one day? Maybe, especially if Cardano could help out the Bitcoin liquidity issue. The fact that Cardano can now utilize and help all of that liquidity so that Bitcoin users can come over here to Cardano and gain rewards for their investments. Because basically the only way that, Bitcoin is getting is a kind of like gold, right? That's why they call it digital gold. The value is in the growth, the percentage growth. But the beauty about Cardano DeFi is that it is also compounding in growing as its percentage growth, like, growth in market cap is going on. And so that's the issue. That's what we're talking about today. It's happening, and it will happen. And my theory is that Cardano will, when the dust settles, be one of the major players for this, in achieving this. And so it's extremely exciting as a Cardano holder. And I'm going to show you one of the major projects that I think, that's building on Cardano, that can give you an example of how this could work on Cardano DeFi, right? And let me take you to one of these projects right now. And I guarantee you talk to people in the streets, you're not going to see them talk about this project. You're not even going to really see it here. There's going to be a lot, like MinSwap's doing it. Okay. MinSwap's doing it. They're all getting ready. Have you guessed it yet? The underappreciated, pretty much unheard of, one of the most amazing potential DEXs to come on to the Cardano Blockchain. It's been here. It's been open for a year. It's been building for lots of years. They're doing something absolutely insane. You could go ahead and launch the app. We might get into that, but Genius Yield, my friends. Genius Yield could be one of these players that will start to take some of that network when it comes to Cardano DeFi being a contender, maybe one of the heavyweight contenders, like champions of facilitating Bitcoin's liquidity in the realm of DeFi, okay, because of this UTXO, right? Like Cardano, I talked about it yesterday, is the only blockchain out there that is a UTXO native blockchain. Democratizing DeFi for everyone. I'm just going to try to see if they say anything about UTXO, because Genius Yield is harnessing the power of UTXO way more than any other application building on Cardano. Outside of, I would say, like Yam4 is doing that with money lending. So there you go. A lot of these projects out here building on Cardano are realizing this very fact that I'm talking about, and they're building things behind the scenes so that they can really get into the power of what's to come, the future, right? Because these guys who were holding Bitcoin, all these people holding Bitcoin, they're not holding Bitcoin, and they're not stupid. They're not going to want to just go ahead and integrate, put Bitcoin on some stupid integration and lose, and maybe there's some risk or what have you. And so here, groundbreaking yield optimizer. This is one where they mention the UTXO. Genius is a product of rigorous research built by industry leaders. The Genius team has taken a first principle approach to smart contract design. That's exciting, right? Cardano is one of these first principle scientific peer review blockchains out there, the one and only, really, standing alone. As such, our DEX and yield optimizer protocols have been designed from the ground up to fully benefit from Cardano's UTXO-based ledger. We just kind of talked about that. Genius isn't just best in class, it's the first DeFi platform in the industry to combine an order book DEX with liquidity management system. So yeah, Genius Yield creating an order book DEX from the benefits of the Cardano UTXO based ledger. And if you don't know about the team, you have Lars Brunjes, who is the Director of Education for IOG and the Plutus Pioneer Facilitator. So that is the smart contracting language in Cardano, and he teaches those pioneer programs. He taught the very first cohorts. He's brilliant. He's amazing. I met him in person, and he's building this as a personal project, which means it might be a little slow to market, and the front end might be a little like clunky and weird and all that, but the back end, what's being built, is absolutely amazing. And they have other resources that they're building, like Atlas, which is doing a fantastic service to the entire community overall. And the other guy, Marvin Burton, one of the other co-founders of Genius Yield, is the founder of Maestro. Okay, you can type in Go Maestro. Go Maestro. I always like it. So I'm sitting here typing. Oh, Go Maestro. GoMaestro.org. Look at this. The complete Web3 stack for what? UTXO chains. Let's check out Go Maestro. The complete Web3 stack for UTXO chains. Advanced UTXO indexing data layer to supercharge DeFi. Oh, they say it. They say it right here. Bitcoin, Cardano, and Dogecoin is another thing. Dogecoin will come on up in it too, because they want to take advantage of their liquidity. Wouldn't you? And that kind of brings me to another point. We're doing education videos on DeFi. We're crafting them right now for the Catalyst proposal that we were voted on. And a lot of people, even in Cardano, aren't leveraging DeFi. And I think it's a sad thing, because there's so much to take advantage of in Cardano DeFi, and most of the holders of Cardano are not even really leveraging DeFi. So we're going to set off on a mission to help educate folks on how they can become a very passive participant with low risk. If you believe in Cardano smart contracts, if you believe in Cardano's mission, to bank the unbanked, and if you understand the security of Cardano, if you're a Cardano holder for those reasons, you might want to really take a look at Cardano DeFi, and that's what we do here. We're showing you the power of Cardano DeFi with crypto fluency, among other things in the community. We have some, just a plug, we have some cornucopia stuff coming out, but it all really wraps around this concept of taking advantage of the leverage, of leveraging what you have, okay? And most people who are investing like leverage. They like to leverage, and most like to leverage passively, correct? We want to be passive. So that's low risk. Now, there are riskier ways, and there's things, if you have the time to understand, there's riskier ways. And so like the more risk, the more reward. But there's so much passive stuff you can do, like I just mentioned with MinSwap, and you're getting 20% above your 3 to 4%, depending on how you are staking your ADA in a stake pool, okay? And so there are lots of passive things, but this is like huge. And Maestro, okay, the harness the power. They have the team somewhere here. Platform. They might, yeah, they have the team. It's Marvin Burton and another dude. And he's one of the founders of Genius Yield. Okay. And they are building. And it's exciting. And so look, multi-chain support. They got Bitcoin. Look at all their, down here. Just check them out, okay? Check them out. They will support and continue to support all of the UTXO blockchains. And Cardano being one of the massive layer ones that has figured out how to bring smart contracts into the UTXO world. Now that's huge, right? We all credit Ethereum for bringing smart contracts out into the world, and that's fair. It is Cardano, though, that has figured out how to integrate smart contracts with UTXO blockchain, with UTXO ledger system, which is far different than a account-based model like Ethereum. Okay, and so where's Bitcoin going to want to come on into? They're going to want anything, and they're going to vigorously scrutinize whatever these projects are offering for their DeFi, right? And so who has one of the best test nets ever in blockchain? Cardano. Cardano has like the greatest test net. If you've never, look up Cardano testnet. All right, it's amazing. Cardano's testnet. With their faucet system, it's unlike anything ever that anybody's ever had. They have incentivized testnet. No other blockchains have it like Cardano has it. And so it's you can build something for a client and let them beat it down and look at it and decide whether or not this works. What do you think they're going to be doing with Bitcoin? Just saying, yeah, here, take my Bitcoin? No, they're going to scrutinize the crap out of whatever products come out to facilitate. Because there's a lot of competition. Other people are going to be trying to do it. But one of the main reasons, and I talked about it yesterday, why I got into Cardano with the security, the scaling, okay, the decentralization, is that I feel like Cardano is going to win the smart contract game. They're going to win the smart contract game, in my opinion. All right, and let's see here. I think I might have a comment. I'm going to take comments today. Oh, yeah, okay, great. Andre. What's up, Andre? I'm glad to see you back at it, brother. I'm glad to see you too, man. Educated us. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're educating peeps here because there's so much that you could do. There will never be a revolution like this ever again, right? Perhaps in our lifetimes. And this could be this could go down like as one of the most powerful times or biggest opportunities of all lifetimes. Of a species lifetime. There has never been an opportunity that has presented itself to the average Joe, the average person like this ever before. Like right now, you could go ahead and get exposure to these massively amazing startups like Cardano and Genius Yield, for instance, prior to any institutional investments that are there. And that's what Bitcoin was, right? That's why Bitcoin's so powerful. And it made how many billionaires? How many millionaires has this revolution produced? Do you want to be one of those millionaires? Do you want to be one of those users who can affect and change the world? Do you have a passion that you want to help your community or your family? Do you have dreams and goals in mind? Well, you are right now sitting in front of one of the greatest opportunities to actually achieve that as a reality. While you're currently doing whatever you're doing right now. So amidst anything that you're doing, you have the ability to do it right now. And it's just absolutely amazing. And so there's never been a time like this. And Cardano is one of the greatest places where you can consolidate your research. This brings me to a thought that to really gain wealth, okay, you need to be able to concentrate your focus, your liquidity, your efforts, perhaps your resources. For a certain amount of time, you concentrate it. And then to sustain wealth, you diversify. You go into diversification. And, there's all kinds of schools of thought. You maybe diversify first. That's what my process was. I diversified in the beginning, and then I consolidated and concentrated in Cardano, which was one of the greatest financial decisions I've ever made. Looking back, and I have presentations about that, right? If you can't argue that if you put your money in Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of these other projects, like everybody say, oh, you have 75% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, and then all the altcoins. And it's I switched it. I went and put 100% into Cardano because of all my research. And then, you went through the 2021 bull cycle, and Bitcoin went 1,500%. Ethereum had a good run. Cardano went 12,000%. And so that is undeniable. So the concentration of that effort proved itself to be powerful. And then, right, you diversify. So now I have a whole collection of Cardano native tokens, and it's hard to tell my friends and tell people. And frankly, a lot of the Cardano holders out here that these projects like Genius Yield or MinSwap, right? Some of these Cornucopias, World Mobile, Iagon, Nuvola, some of the meme coins like Snack or Nike Pig. Somebody commented yesterday, Nike Pig. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of oomph that happens in a project's first bull run, and all these Cardano native tokens are going to experience their first ever bull market. So it might be the case that it's best to diversify now a little bit and then maybe consolidate. So my plan is I'm diversifying across all these Cardano native tokens, and they fluctuate and go back and forth. But my thesis is that they will outperform ADA's growth because ADA's going through its third bull cycle, and the law of diminishing returns suggests that perhaps it might not be as big as before. Okay, we could be in a super cycle. Who knows? But I'm just saying that these little guys, their market caps are so small, they will be huge. They could be huge. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to cycle them back to Cardano and concentrate back to Cardano at the top when Cardano's at the top. And MinSwap perhaps has outperformed Cardano. Genius Yield has perhaps outperformed Cardano. Iagon, World Mobile, just kind of bring them back in. Because a lot of what this means for us is in crypto fluency is swing trading. So you come at the top, and then what could you do with that? With Cardano DeFi, you could swap it for stable coins at the top, mint it for stable coins at the top, and then maybe supply it to something like YAM4. And leverage the downward trajectory over that whole bull cycle or bear cycle, reallocate back in and, rinse and repeat and build wealth. Yo, Nick, I'm glad to see you smiling, and I always look forward to your videos. Thank you so much, Nick. That's great. Yeah, I'm smiling. Hey, I mean, not every day is the most exciting day. I try to find happiness and excitement in every day. And so when it gets down, I'll be real. I'm trying to be real on the channel, and thank you for your support. I have a passion to help educate people, and I'm excited about it. So it's a really good time. And and Andre agrees here, right? With concentrating your liquidity first and grow it, and then diversify 100%, grow the bag. That's what it's all about. I mean, if you do some calculations where, let's say you invest a certain amount of money, let's say you invest $10,000 in Cardano and it grew, let's say it just grows to $100,000, and then you capture some of that and pay taxes here. You capture that. I think one of the fantastic ratios, this is what I learned from some traditional traders, is that if you invest here and it goes to the top and you sell for, let's say, 100x. Let's say that 10,000 grows to $1 million. That's a damn good investment. And you would take 20% of that, because you're holding for long term, perhaps, right? And if you want to help yourself with taxes, start a business. Just go to your account, start a business. You don't even need to you just start a crypto related business. It's not the craziest thing ever. Crypto Fluency is a crypto related business. And so when you start a business, you can actually not make money for a couple years because you're a startup business. There's a lot of tax benefits to starting a business that could mitigate some of your taxes. But let's say you spend 20% on that. Let's say you have $1 million. Okay. 20% goes to Uncle Sam. And so what are you left with there? You're left with $800,000. And then some of these investors say that you could then take 25% for yourself and then hold the rest to reallocate back in at the bottom. We're just kind of talking back and forth here, but I've noticed that if you have $1 million, right? Are we in this to try to win it? Are we in it to win it? If you don't think you can achieve financial freedom and success in Cardano ecosystem, change that narrative around. It's the language of wealth that will help you. It's your internal look at wealth. So if $1 million seems far-fetched, it seems crazy, it's out of insanity, well, change the narrative, because you'll start to bring more fluidity into your life, because the world is abundant. The world is abundant. So we're just talking in abundance here. Okay, so you have this $1 million because you worked hard and you looked and you did research and you're spotting some diamonds in the rough and you're compounding your growth and you're growing the bag, as Andre says here. And you got that $1 million and you spend the 20,000 or 20%, Uncle Sam, you got 800 grand here. If you take 20% of that $800,000, it will be equivalent to the original 20%. So most savvy investors will say you could take 25% off the 800,000 for yourself, for your take. Okay, that's what your take. You could just take 20% of that. It's 5% less than what the average investors say, and that will be $200,000. It will always match, no matter what calculation you do, your original 20% that you would take for taxes out. And so you could take another 200 grand out for yourself, live, right? Do some stuff or reallocate, whatever you want to do with that $200,000. That's your choice. And now you have $600,000. And what do we expect the markets to do? When we look back through history, if you look at the charts and you look back through history, what's going to happen during a bear cycle that is wild and vicious in the crypto space? The market's going to drop 70, 80 to 90%. What did it do? It went from $3 in Cardano's case down to what? It was 24 cents. That's over 90% retracement all the way back down. And during that time, everybody, for some reason, FOMO's in at the top. And then when that happens, there's all of this despair and depression that goes on, and people, and there's no, it's going to go to zero and everybody goes crazy. But you as a swing investor and a swing trader and a savvy investor, which you can be, you and I can be that, because this opportunity has never been here before for us to be like this. But now we can, right? We can be like this. And we hold perhaps in a product like YAM4 or liquid finance, right? And that is growing. I mean, if you supply stable coins at the top, you're going to get, like right now, if you look at it, you're going to get 30%, supply APY or what have you. That entire time it's going down. The entire time. You're not even borrowing. So what's the risk, right? You're not even borrowing. You're just wait. And as it goes down, every time it goes down, you're like, yes. It goes to 80 cents. You're like, yes, from $3. You're like, yes, keep going. And it goes to 24 cents. And you look at your technicals and you're studying the technicals. And I advise you to study the technicals. I'm not a technical person. I hate emailing. I type with 2 fingers. But I have grown to understand technical analysis to be a worthy endeavor to take your time to look at. Because when these bottoms, these capitulations happen, these final dumps, and you could look back through history and look at them and see exactly. I remember when ADA then dropped to like 2.5 cents. That was another capitulation. And that is the time when I fully concentrated into the ADA before it went on a tear to, okay, $3. And when did that happen? During that business end of the bull cycle. During that like final stage of the bull cycle where we're at right now. And so no matter where you're at in the market or the timing band, there's always opportunity. When I first got in, it was at the very top of the bull cycle of 2017, 2018 there. And so it doesn't matter. There's always an opportunity. There's always an opportunity. And it goes down all the way from $3, you have 600 grand, right, left. Or you want to be more conservative, if you're working or whatever, you don't need to take that 20% for yourself. You could just leave it up there because you believe you want more. You do the calculations and say, what would it look like if I reallocated 600,000 back down here at 25 cents? Or what would it look like if I reallocated 800,000 or 600,000? The differences are crazy, right? But that's what happens. You reallocate back down here, 600 grand, and boom, you're now ready to what? Take advantage, diversify again. Diversify, right? You can diversify. LOL ADA, yeah, man, let's go ADA, right? That's what it should be. She said, let's go. Option. Sell native at top for stable, lend stable for X return, use return to grow native token bag. Let's get it, right? It's so much fun to be creative. It's so much fun. And that's what this provides you. There's no money manager you need to call. There's no third party you need to talk to. It's common sense in most cases. And that's what the financial world doesn't want us to realize, that we can use our own common sense. That we can be common sense players in the space. And so this started off with Cardano Blockchain being able to facilitate Bitcoin DeFi. And then we went into a conversation about the creative actions you could do with Cardano DeFi. That's what all Bitcoin players want to be able to do with their Bitcoin. They want to be able to harness and leverage. They're smart too. But a lot of people who get into Bitcoin, who are in Bitcoin, I've experienced this. They are very maximalistic with Bitcoin, and they don't want to move away from Bitcoin, and that's fair also. But what I bet they would like to do is leverage their Bitcoin. Leverage is like one of the greatest words, right? Leverage and diversification. Leverage. That's what they want to do. They want to leverage like we are in the Cardano ecosystem. And, the DeFi ecosystem overall. There's lots of leverage happening in the world of crypto. But my thing is that Cardano's DeFi has not been recognized yet substantially. It has not been through a DeFi summer. I remember Marvin. I mentioned Marvin Burton from Maestro. He was on something, I think with Lars perhaps, in the beginning when they launched Genius Yield. It just hasn't been through a DeFi summer. I mean, think of Ethereum's DeFi summer. That is like when it gets the hottest. Remember that? And I was studying it. I mean, just remember Ethereum's DeFi summer, the first DeFi summer. Dude, projections went crazy. Uniswap went to $44. PancakeSwap went nuts. They all went crazy. And from nothing, right? From nothing. So what's MinSwap right now? Nothing. What's Iagon now? Nothing. What are some of these projects right now? Really nothing. Small market caps. Look at I show like OrcFax. I show some of these low market cap. Like just like where are there's nothing there. But for a price for a token to double in value, the market cap needs to double. Okay, so for Bitcoin to double in price, to go from 100,000 to 200,000, you look at the market cap right now, the entire market cap needs to double. And so if you look at Cardano's market cap, what if Cardano went to 100, 200 billion market cap? You're looking at a fantastic price. Now look at something like OrcFax, where their market cap's like $4 million and they go to like 500 million or a billion. You know, it's huge. And in a wild super cycle frenzy, I mean, you know, but if Cardano has another 12,000% gain, that would be amazing. But could MinSwap or SNEC go on a 30,000% gain? And so that's the creative measures you can do here in Cardano DeFi. And if you look at my videos with Liquid Finance, yeah, I'm leveraging, like Andre's saying here, I'm leveraging SNEC's market on Liquid Finance. I'm leveraging MinSwap, Cornucopias, the Liquid token itself. And there's lots that you could do. You can borrow then some ADA. You can then reallocate into diversify into some of these stablecoins and leverage. There's like advanced things that you could do, which I'm going to be taking everybody through in concept and theory form in the education courses we're putting out. But it's never been a better time to be a holder of Cardano. And there's never been a greater time to really take a look, because at any given moment, there just needs to be one sort of announcement. And I think there are several fantastic announcements coming up. Yesterday was one of them, with Grayscale filing for the Cardano ETF. But I think that there are some other announcements that Charles has up his sleeve, that other projects have up their sleeve. This stuff with Bitcoin going on, you have the administration. It just takes one announcement. I think that something's going on with Cardano and the administration. It just takes one of those announcements for the price to pop up. You remember, I showed you in a couple videos ago where in February 1st, which was my birthday, boom, it shoots up like 200 and something %. Never to look back for the rest of the bull market. And that we're right there. We're in that timing band. And so if you're on the sidelines and you're like hanging out, you're like, I don't know. I mean, right? This is the time. This is the time to really understand and facilitate the effort that it takes to really get in position, because that's all it takes. Boom. And then we're in a super cycle with different players, with institutions coming in with billions of dollars, not millions, billions. And that's never happened before. So we've never had clear regulation. We've never had an administration that was pro cryptocurrency. We've never had so much building happening on Cardano. We had never had Cardano native tokens on Cardano. It was a ghost chain. We've never had all of this time to build and position and get ready. We've never been in a time like this ever in our life to take advantage of some of the most incredible Cardano projects that exist, right? Never before have we been here before, right? And so this is where we're at, y'all. This is where we're at. just to show you some of these. We keep talking about min swaps, just one of the biggest dexes. I mean, if you know, but there's a lot of people that don't know. That's what we're trying to find out too. I mean, if you're watching this right now and well, that's great. Sometimes it gives a little lag, but if you know people who don't know, then send them this way. Get them to watch the video. Like, talk to them about it. Look at this chart. Come on, look at this chart. It's like hilariously laughable. And you gotta really zoom in, because there's not a lot of like data that supports these little projects yet, man. But it's fun to go back in time on the BLX and look at this exact thing in Bitcoin's beginning. Look at it, man. Look, just look at it here. I mean, when you really zoom in, yeah, there's volatility here. I mean, there's stuff going on here. Like, how much was this growth? This was 179%. We just saw that it didn't look like anything, back there. And so, do you think min swap's going to regain some market? Sitting here, just like surviving one of the craziest bear markets we've ever really had, right? Let's see. And this is against ADA, right? And so that's how I view the Cardano native assets. I mean, if it just comes back up to 1-to-1 with ADA, that's 3,000%. What do you think min swap would go to per ADA? Or the dollar, right? Let's try to see another one. Snack, right? Snack's new. Snack came out. It's just new, right? Tap Tools is cool. This is another example. Like, there's so much that's happening. I'm gonna give it. You always got to give it a refresh. Let's go to World Mobile. Look at this. Now, this is WMTX, right? World Mobile has history that went back in time, but this is WNTX when they migrated to a partner chain, which is fantastic. We talked about that yesterday. How much did that drop? It's dropping like everything, like flies, 50%. Might not be a bad idea. Do you think the market cap of World Mobile will crest $1 billion? I'm willing to speculate. What's World Mobile's? Look at World Mobile WMTX chart. Look at it. Look at it. This is against ADA, by the way, guys. Okay, so it's 2,000% against ADA. I mean, what if ADA grows 4,000%, or and this grows 2,000% on the ADA? So for me, what it's about is it's about actually accumulating more ADA in the end, more ADA, and then it essentially more WMTX. Right? There's a lot of work. But look at this chart. Come on, you can't even see it. Look at it. Look how hilarious it is. Look how nothing it is. Right? And look, when I see this here, I see opportunity. When I see this kinds of a chart. What else did I say? Iagon. Okay. Iagon was a great play. I remember capturing Iagon down here. But Iagon, I mean, just Iagon is a sleeper. And so where did it grow already? It's already grown, man. It's already grown up 2,000%, 3,000% against ADA, y'all. Against ADA. This was something I leveraged on Liquid Finance when it came out to supply, right? But where we go, this is perspective here, right? This is what you should be like. This is kind of how this chart will look at later on in the years to come, right? Look at that, okay? If it goes to 5 per ADA, 5.7 per ADA, that's 12,000% against ADA, right? We need not to remind and understand that ADA will also grow in value. You're talking about just a game-changing Iagon token. Hosky's another one. Fluid tokens. Stuff's a great one. Stuff's an opportunity because they have real-world utility. They're changing the NFT game. They're changing the NFT space massively right now. The NFT technology, okay, is being revolutionized by stuff.io. What you know about a decentralized encrypted asset, a DEA. Okay, they're doing massive stuff, real world utility. Mark Cuban's one of the investors. These guys are serious. They're coming. They have a great relationship with stuff. They're doing fantastic. Okay, if it goes to 0.8 per ADA, 0.8. That's that's 6,000% against ADA. Against ADA, right? Let me see if we got any more comments here. Yeah, Fluid Token. Yeah, Andre knows what's up, man. He's in it to win it. Fluid Token and BTC will make waves with Bitcoin liquidity coming. Yeah, no, I do believe it. And you know what's funny? What I love about this comment, and I can tell you really are a student of the opportunity we're having here, and it's wonderful to see your contribution to, you know, in your addition to this narrative, because Fluid Tokens is partnering with Genius Yield also. Now, Raul is massive genius. I love what they have going on. Fluid Token is beautiful, beautiful. It's one in the bag for show, and it's just amazing. And so, congrats to you, man. You're one. It's refreshing to finally understand and talk to people who are also in the know. So keep spreading that knowledge out to your community and to your circle, even if it's like frustrating. But that's extremely powerful. And yeah, and BTC trading on Cardano without a bridge equals Cardano DeFi summer. Yeah. Without a bridge, man, you know, like that's some high level. That's some high level combo, man. I'd love to just like chill out and have like dinner and talk with you for a while, because it's coming, man. It's coming. And you know what the deal is. It's coming. Fluid Tokens is like one. Let's check out Fluid, right? Lend and borrow. Oh my God. What I love about what I'm going to do most with Fluid too is rent my NFTs, dog. Rent them. Rent. You know what I'm going to do? Watch me rent my cornucopias, bubble jets. Watch me rent my land. Watch me rent some of my domes, right? Watch me rent my land, my cornucopias, bubble jets. Look at this back in history. When you look at this back in history, this is what's going to look like when it's like, I mean, Fluid Tokens with only 100 million, right, in circulation. This could be a huge play. And think about something that's only like 100 million token, like for instance, like fully max supply, where you look at IGON, it's 1 billion tokens. I went through a video where I tested, you know, you could test me on that. I study this stuff. World Mobile Token, okay, I think it's 2 billion. You got IGON's 1 billion, okay. Stuff.io 10 billion. This is token supply. Cornucopia is like 3.8 billion cornucopias tokens. Cardano, any takers on how many Cardano are full or max supply? Does anybody know? You better know if you're in the space, how many Cardano tokens are in the max supply. Anybody know? All right, checking it out. 45 billion. Okay, 45 billion. And Fluid Tokens is only 100 million. Genius Yield is only 100 million. And then you have to look at how many are already out. You know, I mean, I think Genius Yield is like 98% of them are already out. Yeah, I mean, any of these could be 5,000% against ADA. And so just, it's like, think about it, right? You have ADA and it will grow, but imagine being able to diversify some of that ADA. Even if you took like 2% of your ADA and put it into something that grew 5,000% against it, it would, you know, it would educate you a lot. Now, you know, obviously everybody, you know, to each his own. You got to do your due diligence. You got to do your due diligence, like Andre is doing his due diligence. You know, lots of these guys, LenFi, you know, NewNet. This is another one. It's in the Singularity Net stack. Indigo protocol, right? Nike Pig, somebody said yesterday, could go to like $2. Yeah, I mean, it absolutely could because of the total supply. It's only 900 million here. And some of these have burn mechanisms. Endmaker's another one. Kopi, right? 4 billion. The exact is 3.8 billion, I believe. But I love looking at this, like the total supply, circulating supply, the holders. How many holders, right? How many are out yet, right? And in the age of everything, right? Stuff's only been going on for a year. So these are just brand new startups. They're all startups. CBLP, okay, we talk about that. It's 91% circulating supply is already out yet, guys. And so yeah, when you have this price, okay, this low price, but you're checking on some fundamentals, it's like, hold on for a second here. And the reason something like Cornucopias only has 46%, or 25%, is because so much is reserved for like play to earn. Cornucopias is doing play to earn. So think about the frenzy that's going to cause. And so you have to factor some of these things in. I mean, Kopi is like, do you think Kopi will be a tremendously multi-billion dollar protocol? Another thing about stuff is it's only 19% out, but 50% of the circulating supply is allocated for read to earn or consume to earn. So as you read books on the platform, as you watch videos on the platform, as you watch your DEAs or read your DEAs, your digital encrypted assets, you are going to be rewarded for your participation. It incentivizes actually people to read books. This is a creative spot. This is a creative place. And Cardano DeFi is going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting for people. Sunday Swap, Zerberus, right? Pavia. And I think we get the point. Here. We'll finish it with Genius Yield. Another small cap max supply type coin. You think Genius Yield will ever get to like 10 per ADA? It's hard to think of, isn't it? Man, if it got to 10 per ADA, now how could that be? Well, hey, man, just like, you never know. That's 26,000%. 26,000%, give or take here, a couple percent against your ADA. I don't know. We'll see. What happens. Because Genius Yield, look at it 2 years ago, only 100 million out, but look at this 93%. They got a lot of holders, lots of things to consider in this place. Lots of excitement, the bright future ahead for Cardano DeFi. It is a winner chicken dinner in the future to come here. So let's brace ourselves. Let's continue to educate ourselves. If you know people who don't know what they're doing and you're getting some feedback on it, just send them the way. Send them. Like we're trying to help people out here in the crypto space, the blockchain space overall, pitching why Cardano might be one of the winner, and especially as it is bidding, if you will, behind the scenes. Charles Hoskinson announced it, and during the Constitutional Convention, that they were building a way for Cardano to facilitate Bitcoin's liquidity. And so they're working every day. I'll bet you probably more than anything else that they're doing. The engineers are sweating and busting it. And so there's a large loop for Cardano and a bright future. And until next time, stay strong, stay educated. We'll see you in another video soon. Thank you and good day.